I've seen many pistols enter the market, and I can tell you for free that a handful of them aren't even a tad impressive. The company that made them may have had all the marketing strategies to make them look good, but you'd only know a good pistol when you've handled it. No matter how fancy it is on the outside or how flashy the advertising appears, a truly outstanding pistol is determined by its quality and performance, not even its price tag. Because we're out here to give you only the best reviews and ensure that you don't put your money on something you'd regret, we've combed through the market on your behalf and will be showing you the top 5 most disappointing pistols on the market. Please subscribe to our channel if you find this helpful and interesting at any point, and do well to hit the notification bell so you can discover upcoming updates from us. Now let's get straight into it. For those who haven't heard, Hudson MFG is a new firearms manufacturer in the US, and the Hudson H9 is their first attempt at a pistol chambered in 9mm. I want to commend the effort put into making this pistol, but other than that, there's nothing more to say. Apparently, Hudson tried to make something different for the pistol industry, but it easily passed at a fair attempt. However, the Hudson H9 just doesn't cut it. The pistol's size and weight are a turn-off when compared to other pistols of its category, and when placed side by side with any 9mm pistol model from different manufacturers, it could easily get lost in the crowd. Its performance is only half of what's expected, and frankly, you'd do better with a used gun than a new Hudson H9. If you're looking for a pistol to play around with and shoot for fun, do try this one out. But if you're looking for something serious and reliable for protection, kindly look somewhere else. You want to know what's more crazy? The price of this disappointment of a pistol. Who would throw $1,149 on a pistol they aren't sure of when they could get something cheaper and more effective? Certainly not anyone who's serious about shooting or staying safe. The Smith & Wesson Sigma has poor quality. Aside from that, this particular pistol got Glock to file a lawsuit against the company over patent infringement. The case went on for a while and ended with Smith & Wesson agreeing to alter the design of the Sigma. As it usually goes, Glock was also paid a certain amount, but the amount paid remained undisclosed. That was a stain on Smith & Wesson's reputation, but they took responsibility all right. The Sigma is one heavy piece of gun, especially at the top. I tried carrying it, but the weight is a deal breaker. It's not that you can't carry the Sigma, you can, but unless you want pain and discomfort, that's a terrible idea. Yes, it is a cheap one, costing only $300, and at first, it feels like a good pistol, but the more you shoot, the more you discover that its strong recoil makes rapid firing a pain to deal with. The trigger pull is just too heavy and long. Its magazine holds 10 rounds, but what good is it when it leaves you feeling drained? The Smith & Wesson Sigma is supposed to be Glock's competition, but if they're aiming for such a goal, the least they can do is do it right. Coming from a manufacturer with a reputation for making good and reliable pistols, the Beretta Pico is quite a disappointment. Where concealed carry is concerned, the weight is a serious drawback, and although the pistol is well sized for concealed carry, it's way too heavy for anyone to carry for a long time. For a .380 pistol from Beretta, the Pico is the worst .380 you'll ever have to deal with. If you ever succeed in carrying it comfortably, good luck trying to get a hold of it and shoot like you would a Ruger LTP. Not that I'm even trying to compare those two, since aside from its slimmer profile than that of the Ruger LTP2 for example, everything else falls under average. The Beretta Pico has a stiff recoil, a non-standard magazine release, and I don't find it physically appealing. Shootability is a major factor to consider when purchasing a concealed carry pistol, or any pistol for that matter. I'm not sure Beretta remembered that when making this pistol though. Oy, where do I even begin? I must confess that the outcome of the Glock 44 is below expectations. That's right. The challenge many manufacturers face is the inability to keep up with set standards. They built an incredibly good pistol and messed the whole thing up with the next release. The Glock 44 is Glock's first attempt at a rimfire pistol in .22 LR, and it's not an impressive one, but rather disappointing. Many can agree that the major thing this G44 is good for is training novices. Every other task is better handled by other effective pistols, either from Glock itself or other brands. I find the trigger quite disturbing, and if there's anything that makes a pistol worth the effort, whatever its use, then it's the trigger for me and many others like me. Once the trigger is messed with and the shootability of the gun is affected, every other thing becomes merely for the sake of it. If I wanted a pistol for something important, say self-defense, home defense, or range shooting, I'd never pick the Glock 44 for obvious reasons. For newbies and people who are still finding their way around pistols, the Glock 44 isn't a bad idea, but for an experienced shooter, it's a total waste of time. Just take your money somewhere else. Having shot some really nice Colt pistols, I find the Colt Ameri 2000 almost a wasted effort by the noble manufacturer. Why couldn't they have used that time and resources to make more of the existing models that are already making waves on the market? I'll tell you why. The point of the Colt All-American was to improve existing models, but it was a total failure. The trigger weight on this thing doubled, making it extra heavy, and when you pick it up, you instantly feel the imbalance of the poorly proportioned piece of work. The point of improving on a product is for enhanced capabilities and use, but in the Colt All-American's case, the pistol just got worse each time a quote-unquote improvement was made. It kept getting modified from aluminum to steel frame, from flat polished slides to matte finish, and from manageable to terrible trigger. The bore axis is unnecessarily high, and the whole attempt to make this a good pistol ended up a disappointment. And here's a bonus one. I can't end this video without talking about one last failed attempt at a good pistol, which happens to be the Taurus Spectrum, a 380 ACP pistol that's better left under a bushel in the dark where no one will ever find it. The light primer strike is the major issue with the Taurus Spectrum. More people have experienced and pointed out the problem, but as usually it takes forever to get action from Taurus, the company's bad customer service precedes it. The funny thing about this pistol is that Taurus hadn't even had a working prototype before the pistol was announced. It took a long time after the announcement for it to be released, and when it was finally released, it was nothing to write home about. The main point of emphasis now is that if firearms manufacturers focused more on producing quality firearms than they do promoting whack ones, we'd have fewer disappointments to deal with. Not that disappointments are completely avoidable. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please let us know by liking it and subscribing to our channel. What pistols have you been disappointed with? Feel free to share your experience with us in the comments down below. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on subsequent updates from us. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next one.